just wanted to hop on here and just watch myself talk. Interesting, right, Anna? I'm actually at work right now. Saturday. It's November the 23rd. Yeah, I just want to talk. Maybe I can do something productive with this time, but I just kind of want to watch myself talk. Is that a crime? It is not Chatterbox. It is not Mitote. Hey. Hey. What could I actually talk about? Actually, I can talk about something. Oh my god, the back is so oriental. So about 2 nights ago, I'm actually gonna give my thoughts on like alcohol. Maybe this is like a diary entry or something. 2 nights ago, I actually kind of blacked out, which is like super scary. I can admit that I throughout, I would say, the last couple of years, like I've definitely had a problem with drinking. I've definitely had a problem with suppressing like my emotions and suppressing like how I'm feeling through alcohol. I did grow up in a household where everything was a bit dysfunctional, and there was a heavy reliance on like substances, you know, the green stuff. And some alcohol definitely. Early on I learned how to like pretty much ease my anxiety and snap into a different person, not be so self-conscious through drinking. And I feel like I started drinking maybe when I was pretty terrible to say, when I was maybe 13 or 12. The earliest accounts that I have of drinking alcohol would be like stealing my grandma, or call her Mima, doesn't really matter, basically my grandmother. She would have like Seagrams. I think I was in like 8th grade. She would have Seagrams, and I would just go in there and kind of drink it and then put water back in it. And that kind of continued on and off until I was about 13 or 14. And around this time, I was actually, I had gotten extremely close with one of my cousins, and she kind of introduced some different behaviors to me, you know, like kids do. Not saying it was terrible of her, it was pretty much in a child's nature. You know, children are impressionable, especially the situation I was coming from, having a lack of guidance and not really having a strong sense of self. My self-esteem was pretty low. I would definitely say I was a follower. So I kind of followed some of her behaviors, and I remember us like somehow knowing this woman in our neighborhood and swimming in her pool, and she had like a lot of liquor in there, and she was like a friend of my cousin's mother. Play cousins, not real cousins, but I remember sneaking and drinking alcohol then, and that's when I kind of started to realize like how easy, it's like almost like things felt like they were on easy mode when I was drinking. It felt like I could handle things more easier, as I was somebody who constantly struggled with like what I now know to be like symptoms of borderline personality disorder and symptoms of anxiety and depression and just, you know, general child trauma. Please don't feel bad for me, not what I'm looking for. But basically all these things kind of led me into drinking. I was in a pretty strange relationship in the beginning of 2019. I think I had to be 18 years old around the time. And I found myself in a relationship with a man who was almost 2 times my age. It was a strange dynamic for sure. I had actually moved to Kentucky, like trying to escape my life here and my failed family relationships, and just constantly trying to run and trying to. It was just a trauma response I know now. But I ended up in a relationship with this older man for a long time, and when it worked, it worked. I cared about him, he cared about me, but looking back on it now, I know that it was highly inappropriate. And in some ways, I was nurtured and I was protected, but I really was a victim, and I didn't fully understand what I was taking on. But again, I had such a extreme, like, pain and trauma and abandonment. I've had a poor relationship with my mother and father. I've had an emotionally neglectful relationship. I was bullied as a child from my peers. I was bullied in my home. So all these things kind of led me into a very strange Stockholm type version of a relationship that I had. When I was about 20. I believe now, because of how extensively I worked myself, I would work 6 days a week at a warehouse. It was a bit strenuous. I worked out every day, twice a day. I worked out at work because it was so empowering, and it was my way of kind of controlling my body issues and my anxieties and stuff like that. And I also believe with all the trapped like trauma I had and like vitamin deficiencies, I literally was just on the face of the earth and just woke up one day and literally my right side of my body was killing me. And eventually, through a couple cycles of visiting the doctor, 3 different cycles over maybe I can't even think, like 4 years altogether, 3 years altogether of trying to figure out what was wrong with me, I was brought to the conclusion that I ended up getting a cervical neck strain. I had physical therapy, and then I was told basically my neck is not straight enough, therefore it's causing a pinched nerve, which is therefore causing the swelling and the burning and the kind of the jumping around that neurological disorders do when they are causing pain. So all these things compiled together, I started drinking pretty heavily. Up until now, I actually found myself in a weird predicament with this same man who's much older than me. Found myself pregnant. And of course, looking back on it, I knew what was going on to a certain extent, but when I actually take a look back at it, I was about 22 at the time, and it was a pretty toxic relationship. It was loaded with insecurities. It was loaded with disrespect towards each other. It was loaded with physical violence. It was loaded with manipulation. I was manipulated into having unprotected sex over the span of an entire year, and I found myself pregnant. And again, like how I responded in many ways, I just kind of ignored it. Like I ignored my pregnancy until maybe I would say, like, I was literally in shock. I was in such a shock. I think I was maybe 3 months pregnant. I was 2 months pregnant before I knew, and I didn't really start announcing it to people in my family, although I didn't have a strong relationship with them anyways. because I was in Kentucky. Sorry, mouse sensitive. And basically, present time, almost 3 or 4 years later, now I'm in Florida, originally where I'm from. I've repaired some relationships that I have. I find myself now really struggling with a drinking problem. I've been through a lot of changes over the last 2 years. Now that I've lived back in Jacksonville, Florida, which is my originally where I'm from. After living in Kentucky close to 7 years, I'm now 26, and I realize how bad my drinking is. I actually ended the relationship with my child's father because I just seen where it was going. We were extremely unhealthy for each other. I will say I am in no way, shape, or form like an angel. I absolutely played some of my roles. Some of the negative things in the relationship with him I did, and it was just solely out of immaturity, childishness, hurt, pain. I had a distorted view on how a woman acts. I still have a bit of a problem or imbalance with what I think an ideal woman is like and how much power she actually harnesses. I just feel like I'm just really rambling in this video, but yeah, the other day I had a pretty bad blackout episode, and it really spooked me. I'm no longer with my child's father. I think maybe close to 6 months or so. I met a really awesome guy a few months ago. I think we're going a few months strong, and I kind of reacted, and I had a blackout episode, as we do kind of casually drink, maybe a little too much. It may be me imposing that on the relationship. I'm not going to take the blame for that. However, I blacked out, and I can say truly I've never blacked out to that extent before, and I maybe even used that term blackout before, and I've never actually blacked out. But I truly blacked out the other night, and I feel like this is me vocalizing, and this is me saying I do have a problem. Like, I do have a problem, and I want to watch myself talk about it. Like, I want to look at myself and say it, because it's more real. It's more real, and I'm just really baffled and really amazed and quite embarrassed and shocked that I would jeopardize my relationship, and that I did that. And I think it's a testament to how tired my brain is. My brain is really tired, and alcohol, it temporarily eases things, but extremely quickly brings problems like 20-fold. So I'm saying that now, because the subconscious is listening. It's listening, and yeah, this video isn't the highest quality. This video, I don't know where this video is gonna go or what I'm gonna do with it, but I just wanted to like make it actually apparent and to myself that it's a problem. The shock I felt hearing the stuff that I said and I did. Thank God I am with someone who is emotionally intelligent. can understand, can possess empathy, and is willing to understand. And I'm just making my mission to value my relationship and respect him and to not allow that to happen again. I will say though, I feel like I'm dealing with some inflammation in my brain possibly. Maybe I'm ignoring things. Sometimes I think I might be manic, but I don't think I actually am. I'm literally like full frontal right now. Like I'm just a girl and I'm full frontal right now. She's giving Sabrina Carpenter, kind of. Sabrina Carpenter with like 1,000-point humidity in a room. But okay, I just wanted to talk to myself. Talk to myself, talk about random things. Yeah. Talk about random things and put on some lip gloss. Just my scattered thoughts. Okay. Bye.